Well, I'm going to say it. We should have never been in Afghanistan. I mean, the Twin Towers get attacked, and we have to go and catch Bin Laden. So maybe you can make a case that we needed to do that. But we spent 20 years occupying another country. It's terrible. Everything that's happening there is terrible. I feel sorry for the people that have to live there. The civilians, people that are really suffering in that country, and they have to go through all this chaos. But the United States is not the fucking world police. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to live in this country and have the leaders of this country care so little for the dignity of human life that they will, for multiple convoluted, nefarious reasons, march troops into a sovereign country, set up a base, and try to tell them how to live. I mean, maybe this seems insensitive, but I think the most insensitive thing you can do is to kill millions of people for 20 years in a sovereign country with no strategy, no objective other than whatever is hidden beneath the surface that we can only speculate at as to why we were there. We're there for the oil. We're there for the minerals. We're there to keep this war machine churning, keep people employed in weapons factories, to keep handing taxpayer money to Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, so they can pay for these bombs. Stop to think about it for a second. 20 years is long enough for a child to grow to be a man, a child whose father or mother, brother, sister was collateral damage in a war that they didn't choose. America is so full of arrogance. You've got a lot of people very upset that because we left that country, now the Taliban is taking over. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's better at the end of the day. A lot of people are resisting the urge to compare this to the U.S. pulling out of Vietnam. I really wish we had a robust anti-war movement like we had, and I wasn't part of it. I wasn't alive back then, but at least from what I've seen. We do tend to romanticize the past, but there were people out in the streets marching day after day after day, year after year against the war in Vietnam. And it's another circumstance where the United States got in over its head, sending their troops where they didn't belong. So my heart goes out to everyone who has to suffer for the mistakes of the country that I live in. And I guess we all have to share some measure of the blame. Whether it was we didn't speak up or we didn't care. We were there for 20 years. We are so completely desensitized to human suffering in this country. It's unbelievable. And we can turn this into some sort of political side picking activity. And it's just all fucked up. A lot of people for a long time have been saying that we need to end all these foreign wars. And it's not, I don't know if it's ever gonna be perfect. I don't think they have any idea what they're doing there in the first place. Not when it comes to like helping people. They might be there for their own reasons, but they don't know what they're doing for the, the company line that they're gonna go there to help women's rights and help bring democracy to another country. It's complete fucking bullshit. And if you believe that, you are completely delusional. They may have made advances. Those might have been unintended consequences. Those might have been very convenient talking points. But those aren't the reasons that we stayed in Afghanistan for 20 years. We use this war on terror, just like we use the war on drugs, just like we use every war against some ethereal foe that we can never catch. And we just make things worse. And we know it'll never end. And I'm saying we, but I mean politicians, people that profit from whether being for or against. That's a fucking shame. I'm glad we left. I'm not glad people have to suffer, but I'm glad we left. It'd be really great if we were what some people think that we are, some force for good in the world. It's really nice, and I'm sure it helps a lot of people sleep at night to think that we went over there and stayed there for that long to try and help people. Billions of dollars, decades. And what did we accomplish? President left, Taliban takes over, just like that. We do a lot more harm than good. And the one good thing that could possibly come out of this is that people start to wake up. And the next conflict that gets focus grouped around the United States and from the pundit class. Uh, People start to see through that bullshit. Say no. You have real anti-war movements start to spring up. And it's very hard though, because we are completely desensitized from reality. I mean, drone warfare, there's not, you don't even have to put a lot of boots on the ground to kill a whole lot of people. Collateral damage just grows and grows and grows. Where does it all stop? So I'm glad we're gone. I saw Marianne Williamson tweet that she wants people who have been speaking out against war to stand up today and ask us to send troops back into that country. And I understand where Marianne Williamson, when she ran for president, it was definitely got sucked into all the propaganda about her. But Crystal Kyle and friends, they did a really good interview with her. I listened to the entire thing. I really, really appreciate her. At least the her that she represented in that interview. And it was a long form interview. And she sounds like the type of person that really cares about people. She sounds like the type of person that has really thought out what she believes. I'm sure she's got decades on me in that respect. But it just seems strange that she would be asking for what she's asking for. But I understand. I guess I understand. I mean, no one wants to sit and watch the whole country suffer. But we sat and watched for 20 years as we poured money and troops and bombs into this country for nothing. Well, I don't have any answers. The only thing I can think to say is I hope we learn some kind of lesson from this. I hope they don't let it go, so far and then start some huge conflict. That would be the worst case scenario. I think we have to finally let people in other countries determine their own fate. And if they want our help, we need to let them ask us for it. Because if we're just going there with a fucking military to occupy a country that is not a humanitarian mission, that is an illegal war. People die as a consequence of it. I hope the people over there can find some measure of peace. I hope the suffering is minimal. And I hope this American empire so obsessed with war, so arrogant in their belief that they have the right to impose their will uninvited on another country for so long with nothing to show for it, finally wakes up. Have a good night.